one down there too.
Colleague's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just go later on Sunday. Let's do the walk on Saturday.
Mr. Crawford is up at the lectern there demonstrating what to do if you want to speak in public comment. There's a little form there. You can just come up and sign now before I hit this gavel. And I'm going to hit the gavel. Here we go. And good morning. Welcome to the City of Chester City Council meeting for today, Wednesday, February 26, 2025. As always, we open with a prayer followed by the pledge. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Bishop Norman Brown Jr. from the Changing Lives Ministry International, Chester, PA. All rise.
Shall we bow our heads? Kind Father, in Jesus' name, once again, we say thank you for another day. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for the activity of our limbs. Thank you for this place in which we've gathered on today. We ask you to touch and bless this city, bless this council meeting, bless our mayor and all those that work in council with him. Touch and bless and cover this city. Let your name be great. Let your name be glorified. Strengthen all those that are part of this meeting, God. Let business be handled and accomplished appropriately. Let all be well. Keep us in the center of your will and in the hollow of your hand. Protect and cover even all law enforcement officials as they do their jobs every day. Let your name be great. Let your name be glorified. Show yourself God, strong and mighty, and we'll give you praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bishop. Roll call, please.
Councilors Green,
Present.
West,
Present.
Davis,
Present.
Mayor Roots.
Present. Council Lady Gibson Williams has what's going around. So I just want everybody, if you're sick, stay home. So we applaud her for doing just that. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from February 12th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Minutes are approved. It's time to hear from you. Does anyone have any comments? Public comments on the agenda items only. We only have 3 agenda items today, so we should be moving through this pretty fast. This is the time to hear from us, where we share with you old news, new news. Do we have anything? Old business, new business, council? I'm gonna go through this very fast today. We have no ordinances, and it's back to you, Madam Clerk.
Resolution, whereas Reverend Jeremiah W. Witherspoon spent 50 years at Temple Baptist Church, making a significant and profound impact on people's lives in the city of Chester and the surrounding areas. And whereas on Sunday, October 2nd, 1949, Reverend Witherspoon preached his first sermon, was ordained in 1955 under the leadership and mentorship of Reverend Z.E. Dennis, and 1 year later, he became pastor of Ridgewood Baptist Church with a congregation of more than 200 members. And whereas in December 1956, he and Ruby Taylor were married, and from this union, they are the proud parents of 3 children, Gerald, Keith, and Judy. And whereas Temple Baptist Church experienced 2 years of pulpit vacancy in September 1967 due to the failing health of Reverend D.W. White, and a pulpit committee was organized to bring to the church a man of faithfulness, conviction, and vision who would serve not only the members of the church, but the entire community. And Reverend Witherspoon was chosen to assume this pastoral role. And whereas Temple Baptist Church continued to grow with new members who had an enthusiasm and commitment to make a difference in the community by carrying out Reverend Witherspoon's motto, "We specialize in spiritual growth," which is exhibited through the Male Chorus, Maryland-Virginia Club, Carolina Club, Memorial Guild, Starlights and Missionary Society No. 2. And now therefore the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does hereby authorize the installation of an honorary street sign renaming a portion of Butler Street at 7th Street to Reverend Jeremiah W. Witherspoon Way, honoring his contributions to the community as pastor of Temple Baptist Church. Further, it does authorize the Department of Public Works to order and install the aforementioned sign.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, any questions? Well, I'm full of comments because whether Reverend Witherspoon was my guy. Who in this room does not know or did not know Reverend Jeremiah Witherspoon? I'm sure there's a couple who may not have known him, but if you knew him, he was a force and one of the funniest guys in the world. And you'd see him every day taking that long walk all through town. I had the honor of going to school as a little tyke, catching a little bus from Chester out to Media Friends with his son and daughter, Keith and Judy. So I got to know him for a very, very long time. It is an honor to dedicate a street sign in his memory. We've done quite a few of these over the past few months. Many of them have come from council, some from those of you out there. Don't stop submissions. Don't stop submissions, because we need to recognize those who have made great contributions to the city. I often joke that, you know, I never met Mr. Engel or Mr. Sproul or Mr. Butler or Mr. Palmer or Mr. Parker, you know, all those streets that were named after important people many years ago here in the city of Chester. So to have an opportunity to just take a segment of a street and name it after our more contemporary heroes around here is very special. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that in accordance with recommendations of the Chester City Planning Commission dated February 12, 2025, and reviewed by the Delaware County Planning Commission on November 22, 2024, it does hereby grant final approval for Greg Zyla to reverse subdivide 10 lots into 1 lot and construct a 6,000 square foot office and/or garage building, driveway, and parking lot located at 609 West 3rd Street, Chester, PA 19013, as shown on a plan prepared by Lynn Architects, 1140 North Providence Road, Media, PA 19063, dated August 30th, 2024, and revised January 23rd, 2025. Further, said approval is conditioned upon addressing the remaining comments of the Planning and Zoning Department review letter dated January 31st, 2025, and the Colliers Engineering and Design review letter dated February 6, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments and questions? Here I go again. I must say that Zyla is a good partner here in the city. They have several lots that they've acquired that they do their business from. In the perfect world, I wish we could have combined them all in one space and not have them scattered around, but I will say for each one that they're occupying, they're looking good. They're really making us proud, so keep up the good work, Zyla. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes.
Resolution, whereas Chester City Council approved Resolution 18-2024, authorizing entering into a 3-year contract with Colliers Engineering and Design Incorporated, known as Colliers, to provide engineering services to the City of Chester as defined in the agreed-upon scope of service pursuant to the executed agreement dated March 13, 2024. And whereas said agreement provides a rate schedule to include hourly rates of the technical staff and eligible reimbursable expenses for calendar year 2025 and calendar year 2026. And whereas said agreement estimated compensation of approximately $395,000 per year and anticipated adjusting the contract consideration based on changes in the scope of service as capital projects and other needs requiring engineering services are developed. And whereas on June 12, 2024, Chester City Council approved Resolution 51-2024 to enter into an addendum to the original contract with Colliers to increase the original contract amount by $700,000 for a total contract amount of $1,095,800 to change the scope of work to include the implementation of the city's GIS program and other engineering projects to be funded through the city's general fund, liquid fuels, and grants. And whereas ongoing large-scale capital projects, including a new public works facility, are in final engineering design and preparing to go out for bid in the near future. And whereas the City of Chester budgeted $555,724 in calendar year 2025 and proposes to budget an additional $185,241 in calendar year 2026 in American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA, federal funding for engineering services for ARPA-related projects, including the city's public works facility. And whereas after further review, the city has determined there are other ongoing engineering projects that need completion that can be funded through the general fund, capital improvement fund, liquid fuels fund, ARPA, grants, and developer-sponsored escrow accounts. Now therefore, the Council of the City of Chester does resolve that it does approve a third addendum to the original contract with Colliers Engineering Design Incorporated, 181 Washington Street, Conshohocken, PA, 19428, Suite 430, to continue to provide engineering services on all city projects at the agreed upon hourly rates and eligible reimbursable expenses under the original March 13, 2024 agreement. Further, that it hereby directs the Chief of Staff to provide a quarterly report to City Council providing an update on those engineering activities undertaken by Colliers, which shall include project updates and engineering costs expended on each project. Further, that it does authorize the proper city officials to execute the third addendum for and on behalf of the City of Chester. Further, said addendum is contingent upon final approval of the city solicitor.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, any comments? None? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Roots.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Do you have any reports, Chief? Any of the directors? None? All right, we have some presentations. Summary report by our police commissioner, Katrina Blackwell.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council, constituents, and community.
Good morning.
I've been tasked to present the statistical report for 2024 for the police department. I will also add from the very beginning, this is supposed to be myself and another officer, so they were pulled away. So if you hear me reference myself by name, I'm not really that stuck up. I'm just reading it as we rehearsed and it became. Reported incidents in 2024, the police department handled 37,578 incidents. An incident is defined as a single matter handled or addressed by the police department where a report may be filed, be a crime witnessed or reported, a 911 call for service, self-initiated field activity, special detail, or any other law enforcement action performed by the police department, including administrative duties requiring documentation. The previous year in 2023, we were at 35,903. The monthly breakdown of reported incidents. We started off with January of 2024 with 2,398, February 2,473, March 2,513, April 2,934, May 2,576, June 3,468, July 3,824, August 3,744, September 3,526, October 3,628, November 3,308, and in December 3,186. So with the way this is broken down, it's really no rhyme or reason how crime happens or how it occurs. It's no longer like, it would be like you would have a slow season or day or weather. It just doesn't matter. So it just spikes when it wants to, depending on what's going on in the community. For the year of 2024, this is the FBI Uniform Crime Report, Part 1 Crimes Comparison. For 2024, we had 2 offenses of arson and 2 arrests. For assaults, we had 176 and 86 arrests. For burglaries, 114 with 15 arrests. Homicides, 20 with 12 arrests. Robberies, 66 with 5 arrests. Sexual assaults, 20 with 6 arrests. Thefts of non-motor vehicles, 422 with 27 arrests. And theft of motor vehicles, 140 with 10 arrests. 2024 breakdown is provided by the Delaware County District Attorney's Office and Chester Partnership for Safe Neighborhoods. In 2024, there were a total of 35 incidents pertaining to non-fatal shootings, classified as aggravated assaults in UCR. Of these, 9 have been solved, giving a 26% clearance rate. This is the highest clearance rate since 2019, when a total of 112 non-fatal shootings were reported. Of the 20 homicides, 15 involved firearms use, 2 involved blunt force trauma, 1 a motor vehicle, and 2 were found to be justifiable per the Delaware County District Attorney's Office. Of these, 14 homicides were solved by the Detective Division, giving a 70% clearance rate. Since 2019, our clearance rate regarding homicide has never been lower than 56%. Of the 15 firearm-related homicides, this is a 51% increase from 2023, but a 53% decrease when compared to 2020, where a total of 32 firearm-related homicides were reported. A grand total of 924 arrests were made by the Chester Police Department. A total of 312 fugitive arrests were made by the Chester police officer and his unit that works with the U.S. Marshals Task Force. An additional 45 arrests were made by the uniformed personnel based on information developed by this team, as well as 212 arrests based on the information obtained by surrounding states and provided to this officer and his team. This unit has provided information on wanted subjects from the area to surrounding states, leading to 363 arrests of individuals who attempt to turn fugitive. A total of 23 persons turned themselves into this officer and his unit. The Narcotics Division of the Police Department consists of 1 captain and 2 patrolmen, all assigned with federal, state, and county partners. For the first half of the year, 1 captain patrolman manned the division full-time, with 1 patrolman being assigned full-time in the latter half of the year. For the year 2024, the Narcotics Division recovered 1,219 grams of cocaine, 90.94 grams of crack cocaine, 37 pounds of marijuana, 640.16 grams of fentanyl and heroin, 14 grams of methamphetamine, 0 ecstasy, and 2 ounces of PSP. The arrests were 35, firearms recovered 32, U.S. currency 99,767. 8 vehicles were seized. Seized vehicles estimated $50,000. Patrolman Melissa Goodman, badge 270, retired from the department effective March 24 after serving 17 years of service. We thank her for her dedicated years of commitment to the city of Chester and wish her the best in the next chapter of her life. A total of 9 officers were sworn into the City of Chester Police Department in 2024 at the rank of patrolman. We are currently accepting applications for the position of patrolman until February 28th. Applicants need not be certified as police officers under Act 120 to be considered for hiring. The department will sponsor ideal candidates to the Delaware County Community College Municipal Police Academy should they not have certification. Grants funded and what that we received. Program period for the PA Commission on Crime and Delinquency Locals Law Enforcement Grant has concluded with the end of the year. The department would like to recognize Sergeant Kyle Battenor for his efforts in applying for the grant and handling both the award and logistics of obtaining and deploying the following equipment and upgrades: submersible drone, aerial drone and software, drug identification machine, crime scene cameras, body-worn cameras and storage, arson investigation equipment, training laptop computers, employee OT compensation. We are continuously in the process of rolling out body armor to replace expiring units. This is provided via an annual grant from the Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program, which reimburses the department 50% of the cost of the body armor. Starting January 2024, all police began annual mandatory training from Pennsylvania State Police in the topics of legal updates, community relations, ethics, incidents involving suicide by cop. All active personnel attended in-house mandatory training in physical control and arrest tactics. Additionally, all personnel are in the process of annual firearms qualification and TASER recertification. Training continued with the department elected that all personnel attend online courses in the National Incident Management System. This program provides a national guideline and principle to manage a variety of incidents in tandem with federal, state, and local partners. 4 personnel attended the FBI Intercounty Detective School in early February. This course introduces investigative techniques as well as interview and interrogation, active shooter, and computer intrusion to attendees. All personnel have attended training for Axon body-worn cameras with the demo period starting immediately after. Full rollout and transition to mandatory wear is complete. 6 personnel attended a practitioner course for standardized field sobriety testing with the Pennsylvania State Police. 3/4 of the department personnel are certified in the utilization of field sobriety testing. Additionally, 2 personnel successfully completed advanced roadside impaired driving enforcement. 2 supervisors attended leadership training course by Point Man Leadership Institute, and I attended and completed Northwestern University School of Policing Command, graduating in class 572. Looking into 2025, the department has recently signed an agreement to partner with Crime Watch. This will serve as a new tool in our arsenal to bring information to the public in a timely manner, as well as offer means to provide tips on active investigations, wanted subjects, community events, and other noteworthy matters. A test for corporal detective is being conducted in late February, with 1 full-time appointed to the detective division thereafter, and more to follow. A test for sergeant will be conducted depending on manpower allotment. Once the current hiring process ends for the position of patrolman, the department would like to establish another hiring list. We estimate this to be around August 2025. The department is in the early stages of putting together a professional development plan to both incorporate a standard in training and better prepare personnel for positions which they may want to occupy in the future with our agency. Of the 16 that we tested for corporal, 4 passed. All 4 have been successfully assigned to leadership training for the first week of March. So when they're sworn in, they will have some leadership training under their belt, not just walking in because they passed the test. That's all I have.
All right,
Thank you for your time.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
There may be some questions.
Okay.
Any questions?
I was just trying to whisper, I want the papers.
These?
Wow. She demanded those. There were a lot of, that was a lot of information shared in a short period of time. We're going to make sure that we post at least the numbers, the stats on our website, so you guys can review. She still walked away. Don't go. No, I just want you to, I just want you to stand
Okay.
there and I don't know if I have any questions, but I do have some comments. Just kind of highlights of what was said as I was busily trying to write notes as you were rapidly going through that presentation. 37,000 incidents in 2024. And it ranged anywhere from 2,300 a month up to like 3,800 a month. That's a lot of work
That is.
that our police force is doing. So let's recognize that these guys and gals out there are busy 24 hours a day. One of the things I really liked about your presentation is that you broke down the different crimes that we hardly ever hear, you know, cumulative numbers on. We always seem to focus on the homicides or the shootings, but you know, you mentioned assaults as well as homicides, robberies, sex crimes, theft, and motor vehicles. You know, all that contributes to the crime, and those are stats we need to be tracking as well. Those are numbers we need to be bringing down. I liked how you highlighted the improvement in solved cases in the various categories, and this gives me a perfect segue to point out 2 guys in the room who are making a big difference in that area. One is our Delaware County District Attorney, Jack Stolzheimer, and his assistant, DA Matt Krause. Wave, stand, do something so people can see who you are. There you are. Thank you very much. DA Stolzheimer, you know, came in and worked directly with Chester and has made a huge difference in the reduction of violent crime, particularly violence with guns. And Matt Krause, man, wow. I don't know what to say about this guy. You open the paper almost any day. He is pretty much assigned to Chester. He's the guy on the streets. He's the guy in the courtroom. He's the guy who is closing these cases. Thank you so much for what you do, Matt. That's... And to close this out, I just want to remind, in everything that she said, there were 2 very, 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 very important parts, and one of them is that on February 28th is the closing date for anyone who wants to apply to be a police officer right now. So those of you who want to apply, you don't have to have any experience.
Nope.
Nope, no experience
No
needed. Do you need a high school degree, anything?
High school degree.
High school
or
degree.
GED.
What's the age?
21.
You have to be at least 21 with a high school degree. You can come over here, sign up at the front desk. What's the process for?
The HR director here? I would do civil service. You gotta be 21 by the test date, and I believe it's April? I'm not doing it anymore.
It's March.
March. So you have to be 21 by whatever the test date is. You come in, you get your application. They are $35. Fill them out, bring your paperwork back. Got to pass the physical agility, which I do know that they changed from what it used to be in the past. In the past, used to be a lot of running.
Yeah, it's changed drastically.
Yes.
It's not as strenuous as it used to be once upon a time. So it's definitely a test that you can pass. It's not something that's going to set you back.
You pass the written test, you then qualify for an oral interview. And then you get chosen from there. And if you're Act 120, we put you to the street. If you need the academy, we get you ready to go to the academy.
Academy is 5 months.
All right, and then depending on how things work out, there will probably be another call for applicants in August, I think you said.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so perfect. If you don't make it this round, get ready for August. It gives you time to go to the
Absolutely.
A-fill and run around the track and get in
Please,
shape and
please come out.
learn how to
please.
push a car, pull a car, run, punt, and kick, all that stuff. Thank you. That was a very thorough report. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Have a good
Major.
morning.
Can you make sure we get a copy of that report?
I have it.
Thank you.
I'll send it to, I'll email it to mayor and council for y'all, and I'm gonna put it in.
Okay,
the
we'll
minutes.
all get the report. Thanks.
Got y'all. Okay. You see me?
And we're going, like I said, we're going to make sure it's online as well. That's important information that needs to be shared. We have another presentation by Annette Pyatt. She's the executive director of the Chester Community Improvement Project, and she is, I guess you would call the project lead for the home rehabilitation program, and she's going to give us an update. I know oftentimes I'm out in these streets and people ask me questions, can we still sign up? How many have been done? Can I be a contractor? So what I'm expecting to hear is kind of a history of the program, how it got started, how much people are eligible to receive, is there more slots available for new people, and then whatever report you have to have. But those are the 2 or 3 things that I get asked quite often.
All right, I'm Annette Pyatt from the Chester Community Improvement Project. Also brought along Amanda Johnson with the city side of the ARPA
They're asking
program.
for you to get real close to that mic.
Real close to the mic.
We going to
All right.
And you can remove it from the stand if it's
No, I
easier.
don't want to hold it.
You don't wanna touch
So
it?
we're both going to play tag team on the project because the city had a major role in it, and then it's the files and everything are transferable to CCIP. So the history started with the city of Chester receiving ARPA funds, which is American Rescue Program funds, and they allocated over $780,000 to be allotted to homeowners to do repairs in their homes. The maximum amount that the homeowner could receive was $10,000. And there was an application process that everyone had to submit, and Amanda will take that side of it, and I'll filter back in.
Good morning. So the application process is over. Every time I present this, I do get a call saying, can I get an application? The application process is closed. The program allotted 78 applications to be received. Overall, we received a total of 138 applications. As of right now, we do have the 38 going through the process, and we did have a waiting list. So I know a lot of people were asking about 78, did I not say 78? 78 applications. So there is a waiting list, and as of right now, today, we have 12 people who did fit the category of not eligible. Nobody was denied because it was not that type of process, but there were 12 people so far that were not eligible, and these are the reasons why people would not have been eligible. No supporting documents were received with their information. with their application, they just submitted the application with no supporting documents to move the application forward. The property listed on the document is not located in the city of Chester. Yes. The document shows that you are not the owner of the property. The documentation shows that the property is not your primary address or residence. The documentation showed that you are over the income limit for the program. Or we have information showing that you have rental property. So if anyone says that they were denied, which, you know, to them that would be denied, but the term we're using is not eligible because we really didn't deny anybody. Those will be the categories that cause them to not be eligible. Actually everyone, if their application was being processed, they received a letter. If their application was put on a waiting list, they received a letter. Or if their application was closed, they also received a letter. So if anyone is watching and they do not know their status on their application, they can give me a call, 610-447-7793. Or if you are in the process and you haven't heard anything, give me a call. I can kind of see where you are to keep the ball rolling. But those are the actual categories if y'all have any questions. We did have some obstacles and some issues that would cause delays, and these were those items. So homeowners had a limited number of contractors to select from. This means that the homeowner would have to wait for a contractor to complete a project before the next one could be started. If they selected that. So that was this is some of the issues that not some of the delays. Some homeowners are choosing to select their own contractor, which is not a bad thing, but that now means that that contractor has to submit their application. They have to submit their license and all their documentation, which then kind of puts a delay on that application. Homeowners are requesting changes after the inspection or the estimate is completed. So that means we pretty much have to start, instead of going to the next person, we now have to go back to that person, which also created a delay. And contractors have complained about the delays with waiting for a response from the third-party inspector, mainly electrical. So that is my portion of the update, if y'all have any questions.
So once the applicant is determined income eligible for the program, which is also a role of CCIPs, the application is forwarded back to Amanda, notification that they are eligible for the program. Amanda then turns that over to the city's License and Inspection Department, at which time the city License and Inspection Department schedule an inspection, as well as CCIP schedule an inspection. We don't necessarily go simultaneously because our schedules aren't conducive to do that. So I take that information from the city's license and inspection report and our initial inspection and combined it for a description of work. And that description of work is given to the homeowner. They review that. If they're approved that, they then sign off on it, and they're given a list of contractors to select from. The contractors are then scheduled to come in and do a walkthrough based on the work write-up and provide an estimate to the homeowners. That estimate is reviewed with the homeowners by myself, and we'll go through and make sure that they fully understand the contents of the estimate, and if they're in agreement, there is some negotiation, because nobody wants to pay over $10,000, because the homeowner will have to pay out of pocket. Anything that exceeds $10,000, the homeowner is responsible for. So they try to stay within that $10,000 budget. So once the contract, they're approved, they initiate a contract, and then we in turn, CCIP in turn, invoice the city for the ARPA funds. The funds are placed in a discretionary account, and then we establish a deposit for the homeowner, to the contractor, which is no more than 1/3 of the contract amount. They in turn have to secure a permit, a certificate of insurance, and then they're scheduled to start the work. And then there are progressive inspections throughout the process of the work renovations and so on. To date, we currently have 27 projects completed, 100%. We got 7, that's about 90 to 98%. And basically what we're doing is waiting on scheduling the final inspections, and they'll be complete. We also have 4 projects that's currently started renovations, 11 projects that are in the contract and bidding phase, and we have 12 projects that are currently being inspected by the city, CCIP, and work write-ups being done. We've only had 3 projects, homeowners, that were deemed not ineligible for the project. So that's where we are today.
That's very good. Any questions up here? What's the total amount that,
750,000 was total allocated.
well, I
So
wasn't
10
talking about the money, but total, how many were approved?
All the applications or the ones that were approved?
Approved.
As of right now, it will be 78 that
Okay.
should be approved. So on that note, I would like to actually be put on the list for the community, y'all changed the name on me. It was Chester Community Economic Development, but I need to be put on that so that we can talk about the final steps of closing the applications. So I know Fred, I think he's the chair of that, so if I can get on that to go over this again.
Okay. So what you just heard is a report on, I think it was $1 million of ARPA funds. So for those of you who are not familiar with ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act, you hate to say thanks to COVID, but thanks to COVID, you know, money was given to cities. The city received over 30 million, and some of that was dedicated to community projects. So we broke off 1 million for this. Each homeowner that was eligible gets up to $10,000 to do home renovations, and you can imagine in a city like Chester with so many old homes, there's a lot of homeowners that could use a new heater, window, doors, you know, that type of work. Roofs, do we do roofs?
Yeah, the bulk of the projects have been roofing, heating systems, electrical upgrades, and plumbing upgrades. That's pretty much what most of the homeowners are using them for, and windows.
And windows. So a lot of programs like this require homeowners to also provide a match to get that funding. This one had no match, so you get the full $10,000. So for those people who may have $15,000 of work that they want to get done, you know, that would be the equivalent of their match. Just to get those things done, they can use $10,000 from us and $5,000 out of their pockets. 78 is a drop in the bucket for what needs to be done out here. So what's required of us is to find more money to keep that fund going, to keep this rehabilitation project going. There's no promises there, but you know, we're always looking to. It would be nice to continue a program like that, you know, forever. We would love to do 5, 10 homes a year, you know, using these two fine ladies who are just thorough in the work that they do. Annette has been in the housing space here in the city almost forever, and Amanda is just so thorough. They're a perfect duo. So thank you two for presenting.
Introduce your partner over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my coworker, Larry Douglas. He is actually responsible for doing the income qualifications for the program, as well as administering the Cities of Chester's first-time homebuyers assistance program, counseling service.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
all the
you.
work that you guys do. You know how I feel about you.
We appreciate the city allowing us to be in continued partnership in these endeavors. Thank you.
Now, this is world-class what you guys are doing, so definitely something that other cities will be looking at as a model for how to get this type of work done. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
This is the time of the meeting that you guys have come for. It's public comment. There's a sheet up there that someone's going to hand me. It's right in front of me. You better start coming in on time. But you're good. I got you. My favorite. Let's start with Catherine Flagg, Justice. You know the rules. 3 minutes. While she's on her way here, we also want to recognize in the house today is our receiver, Michael Dowry. Hi, Michael.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council, Clerk, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to say thank you. When I came outside this morning, the holes outside of my house on my street were being patched. A long-needed job, and they're doing it, so thank you very much for that. Second, on behalf of the seniors, some are walking on canes, and myself, I'm requesting that you put security at the door leading from the parking lot so that we can have entrance into the building on city council days so that we don't have to walk all the way around to come to the front. It is difficult, very difficult. And we have some people on canes. Me, I'm not on cane, but it's difficult for me to walk up. It hurts my back. So if we can have access into the building on the days of city council with security there, I'm sure, I'm requesting that you do that.
That's a reasonable request.
Thank you.
Which side do you park on?
The
though?
parking lot over here.
Parking lot over there.
Oh, I don't know if anybody's parking over that side. I'm requesting for them too as well.
That's where most of the people who come to the meetings, they park on that.
Over that side, yeah. But if there's no room and they go on the other side, so either side, if it's possible, we would really appreciate it.
Okay.
I want to make a comment about the art program. I think it's a very good program, and I thank you for the comment that you made about keep continuing, because I'm one of the ones that, I guess the word is denied.
You're not eligible.
And not, no, I was not,
Oh, here they go.
no.
I'm sorry, you were on the waiting list.
I'm on the waiting list?
You didn't make it to the cut.
See, the thing is that the day that they made the announcement, everybody who came out was not told that there was a deadline to apply or there was a minimum amount that to comply. Now she's saying there was a certain number that they was able to fulfill, but we didn't know that. We applied, all of my dockets were in place, everything. And I was one of the ones that, and I still one of the ones that hope that you would continue the program, because I'm living in an older house that I want to keep looking nice, and I want to be eligible for that money. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Crawford. He's got a whole list.
No, very simple.
Oh,
Good morning, City Council. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
I would like to do something slightly different to start by saying thank you. And the reason being is that over the years there have been a number of things that I have talked about, such as the police officers pretty much coming to my neighborhood. Miss Blackwell told me she was going to take care of that, and she has. So to her, as I want to say thank you. I talked to Andrew, and I in turn asked him for a sign right at Keystone and at Chicago Lane. He forgot the first time, and he happened to walk up to me, and I said, I haven't got my sign yet. He said, by the end of the day, that sign will be there. By the end of the day, the sign was there. So
okay, the Andrew he's referring to is Mr. Andrew Heyman. Where is he?
Oh, he's out there.
Not in the room, but he's our Director of Public Works.
As the other item was that I had talked about more information on the different agenda items. Here it is here. Y'all have, as of the start of this new council, y'all actually took care of that. So to Candace and to the people who went to authorize it, to thank you again. Jason. Justin, I'm sorry. Okay. That one of the nice things he does is actually gives people information of the actual different things that are actually going on.
Okay, you're speaking of what's on paper, but all that stuff is also on our website. And social media pages.
Yeah, that is
so you
correct.
don't have to be here to get it.
Yep. And last, there was one other item, information, Justin. Has there been any more thought of going back to at least having more of the night meetings? Everybody, as a normal person, has a job. I'm fortunate. I've retired, so day or night, it doesn't matter to me. But that would be nice. And last but not least, just as the young lady, I can't think of her name, said, she walked out and she was seeing her holes fixed on her street. And I drove down my street yesterday morning, and I was shocked that not all of them, but a good quantity of them have been fixed. So instead of complaining, as I'm saying thank you to everyone.
No one complains, they just bring up issues.
Okay.
Now, we really respect that. One thing I want to touch on, though, is night meetings. There were 2 more night meetings in 2024, and when we were putting together the schedule for council meetings this year, we did a double check of our, I don't know if it was our city charter or administrative code, but it clearly lays out that there are to be 4 night meetings a year. Was that, do you remember if it was charter or administrative code? Yeah, it's the charter. So if you guys know anything about city charters, the only way to change the charter is for you guys to put it on the ballot as a question. And in order to get it on the ballot, you got to get petitions signed. And it's a real process. It's like changing the Constitution of the United States. The charter is the equivalent of our Constitution. So we actually have 2 fewer night meetings this year for that reason. One thing you didn't mention, though, that is being worked on, Mr. Crawford came to me and says, you know, there's a lot of, you know, over the years, registered churches in our town, and, you know, some of them are storefronts, and many of them are probably not occupied anymore. And he was questioning whether those properties are still tax exempt because of their former designation as churches. And we got the report. We got the report of all exempt properties in the city. And wow, what was it? Maybe 1,500? It's a lot. So we're combing through that list right now. And we're going to actually have someone, a real person, go through each and every one of those and make sure they're still eligible to be tax exempt. Mr. Brown Williams, please.
Good morning, City Council and Mayor. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Well,
I'm here today on behalf of the highways and the byways. Now, coming down Edgemont Avenue, there are all them holes in the street and bumps and ruts and dump. That's messing up your car. Now, they got Doug, they got Melvin in Wilmington, Delaware. They go around and check out the spot. Go down Delaware and look at the right on the road and see how King Street and Market Street, all them street rides. The parking lot even much fixed up neat. When the old people get out the car, they don't have to stumble and fall. We can do the same thing here. But you got to put people to work. Well, look at me, Mel, when I'm talking to you.
you're talking to the room, sir.
I'm talking
but
to you
I can
too.
hear you.
I'm talking to you.
Well, last time you came here, I told you to talk to the people because you have all the great ideas.
Okay.
You should talk to the people over
well,
in that
we need
room
all them
there
to-
because those solutions that you have really should be communicated to the departments, which
Well,
can
I
fix
don't
them.
know which
But
department
it's-
over here.
The floor is yours.
So
You're
I
down to 2
deliver to
minutes.
you, and you're supposed to deliver to them. If I bring the message
if you're
to you,
waiting
you're
every
supposed-
2 weeks, you have all the answers.
Now down 3rd Street, y'all got the chief of police, y'all got everything in here. You can ride around and check the spot out, mark them, take a picture of, and tell the guys where to go the next morning and fix up. There's nothing wrong with that. That's part of your job. You're getting paid for these jobs. They ain't free. And I'm glad to see it look like Temple Baptist Church here today. That's a blessing, like ice cream and cake. It might be here for my man, when we come here together in 65. I don't know. But they're here for something, because they're here.
If you were here a little earlier, you would have heard why they're here.
Okay. Well, I wasn't here early. I had things to do and place to go.
Well, we have things to do and places to go as well. You're down
So-
to 1 minute.
Yeah. So now what you gonna do, like back down at my house, it need to be raked and cleaned up. I'm talking about around my spot now. The street down there by me, on Hay Street, is caving in a little bit. Up there in the 2600 block, a big hole in the street. You see how that one fall here yesterday in Philadelphia? It might be caving in there. So I'm letting you know, I don't want to get up one morning, my car down in the hole. You laugh, man. I ain't laughing about that. That's
Yes,
no
you
joke.
are.
Yeah. Okay, well, we need a lot of things did around Chester, though, serious. Now, but that program, they're talking about that $10,000. I look at the paper and everything, hell, when I'm making stuff, they won't give me near a dime. And I ain't gonna let no man come to my house and tell me what I can do on my house and what I can't. Because that's what this program is all about. And that's bad. But if you get $10,000, you supposed, if you want your living room fixed, you want your dining room fixed, you want your bedroom fixed, that's what that money's supposed to be for. But if you got to labor yourself, say, well, I got to go to the back of the house and put aluminum out, I got to go back there and stuff coal a little bit and patch this and patch. Shouldn't be able to tell you that. Don't let no man tell you how to fix it on your house.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Have a
You know what I like about him? He does tell it like it is. And we need more people to come to us, maybe in a different manner, but please, don't be shy about letting us know the issues that are disturbing you. I do want to make one comment on that last point, though, on that rehabilitation program. It really isn't about fixing up your living room and dining room. It's the real function of your house. I think the income eligibility, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was around 90,000? Yeah, so, I mean, there's not too many people that doesn't cover in this city. But a guy like you who's a baller, 90,000, I guess you wouldn't be eligible. And no one's telling you what to do. It's people coming to us, telling us, who are part of that program, what exactly they want to get repaired, and if it qualifies, the contractor does that work. But thank you for your comments. I always welcome
And
them.
then, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Edgemont Avenue, I believe, is the state road. So that's the PennDOT issue that we can refer to them for you. So you can see Mr. Andrew Heyman, who's the Director of Public Works, and we can refer it to PennDOT. Not the state roads. Oh, yeah, I agree. That's what I said. If you, we can refer it. We'll refer it to PennDOT.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome, Mr. Brown.
You love Mr. Brown.
I do.
I'm not going to announce all these, but please, 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 pick this up. There's a few things coming up next week. Block Captain Information Session, Thursday, March 8th. What's that little number there? 6th? March 6th? Right here in this room, on Tuesday of next week, the Chester Lead Task Force will be presenting. Oh, we can announce that big grant we got, can't we? Can we announce that?
If y'all put a dumpster in the city,
This guy won't stop. Let's talk about our Commissioner for Health is not here.
Some people that didn't.
Someone else wants to speak? Well, come on up. You have to give us your name and your address, but please try to get here by 10 so you can sign the list.
Good morning, Council. My name is Joyce A. Davis. I live in the 200 block of West 4th Street, which is just across the river there between Penn and Concord. And today I wanted to bring forward to Council about trash, dumping. We have a problem with dumping that is out of this world. I know Councilman West is familiar with me. She's familiar with the issue that I have in that
Hold on one
area
second.
with the dumping.
Let me understand the word "we." When you say "we" have a problem with dumping, are you talking
I'm
about
talking
the entire
about
city?
the neighborhood. No,
Your
well, the
your
entire
particular
city has
neighborhood?
a problem.
Yeah, I just
but
want to be
I'm
clear.
talking about my particular neighborhood.
that's what I want to
That's
hear.
why I said between Concord Avenue and Penn Street.
Okay.
I'm
Because we
talking
do
to-
have a problem with illegal dumping
I
citywide.
see that as I ride around the city. It's like you're in a third world country with trash everywhere. But I can't understand. I've talked to Justin in reference to this a couple times, and I'm steady over here talking to individual people. He probably sitting there now saying, oh no, there she go again. But yeah, he takes care of it when it happens, but less than 2 or 3 days later, it's right back.
Right.
They've gotten to the point now where they don't even dump, they don't dump, it's a large field back there. They don't dump on the field anymore. They dump in the middle of the street, like they pull the truck down the street, push the mattresses, junk, trash, whatever they're gonna dump, and it's there in the middle of the street. How does my trash man supposed to get up that street? I just experienced that, my trash day is Tuesday, and I just experienced that Tuesday. Mattresses, trash, everything just pushed off the truck into the middle of the street. There's some way that the city has to get a grip and get a hold of and make people responsible for dumping. I've had times where I've turned in license tags, I've turned in pictures, I've turned in, I mean, it's just a losing battle for me. And the city has to do something with these people that dump. I don't know if they're residents or if they're from out of town, or I assume that they're residents.
A lot of times they're from out of town too.
When residents know that you can put that stuff to the curb on your trash day and the trash man will pick it up. You don't have to go around, and I don't want other people's trash. I have to wake up in the morning and look out the window and all I see is a dump. But that was my issue. Actually, I was here and I missed it because I wasn't here early.
Just on time.
On behalf of Temple Baptist Church and Reverend Witherspoon's assignment, but while I was here, I'm like, well, I missed that, so I might as well talk about my own problem. But I thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And because I had intended to stop and make an appointment to talk with Justin when I left here today, but now I don't have to talk to Justin. Thank you.
No, what you're expressing is valid, and you're one of hundreds of people who express the same thing. All I can ask you to do is, when you see that dumping in the street, give us a call. We're going to get it. Now, what you're asking us to do is try to track down everybody who's doing it.
No, I'm not asking you to track down anybody. I'm just asking that whoever patrols, if it's the police, if it's the council person, if it's somebody at this city that's in charge of a particular area, if they would ride around and look and see, oh, there's a lot of trash in such and such an area. I'm not asking you to track down anybody.
Okay, gotcha. For those of you who didn't hear the stats that we repeat constantly, our Public Works Department picks up more illegal dumping than Mascaro, our trash company, picks up in your neighborhood trash.
And
How many more, I'm sorry, Andrew, just holler out. You don't have to come up here. How many more trucks, how many more people would it take to just keep up with the dumping that goes on in this town? Is it measurable?
I think we do a pretty good job keeping up with the dumping. The problem is actually making a dent in it. Make a dent in it, I think we use 24 more guys, and then we would start to see a decrease. We're really just treading water, in my opinion.
All right, so what he said is maybe another 25 to 30 people, which would probably equate to another 4 or 5 trucks. That's not something that, you know, we could budget for without a tax increase. If you're willing to do that, we could clean up the city, but it really is getting cameras around here, getting more law enforcement, you know, in place, having neighbors let us know when they see dumping occurring. And believe me, it's not a lot of locals. We actually go through the trash many times. Oh, here he comes. I knew I'd spark him. But we find mail, we find bills. One time we found a whole notebook of places where the guy was dumping. Come on, Andrew. This is Andrew Heyman, our Director of Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'm sorry I'm getting over an illness. It's hard for me to speak very loudly, even when I'm not sick. So I would just say, we wouldn't need any more additional employees to clean up the city if we can get the criminals that are doing this, put them, out of operation, but people know there's not going to be tolerated. That's the way this, in my opinion, this is going to get solved. And we're trying. Like the mayor just said, we got identifiable material, pass it along to law enforcement, but these people are criminals. And the way they treat the city is disgusting. And it's not Chester residents doing it. Forgive me for perhaps over-speaking here. When I first came here, I was of the belief that smaller dump sites were probably local residents who had a hard time finding a place to dispose of material. And I hear that commonly from people, oh, well, if there was a better option, people could come and bring their garbage. I can tell you of all of the dump sites that we have gone through where we have been able to find identifiable material, I would say 50% of the time, if I had to guess, there's identifiable material that can be tracked to an address. And only 2 cases has it ever been a Chester address now. One case was a clean out. It was at the property where the garbage was located. The other was a dump site. Those are the only times I've ever seen a Chester address. Even small dump sites frequently come from far away, 30, 40 minutes away, easily. People come to Chester to dump their garbage. It's not Chester residents' fault. And my opinion is people that are doing it need to pay for it.
I'd like to ask the question of Commissioner Blackwell. We had an incident one time where the police was called, and Andrew, you remember a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Our inspector had caught the perpetrators. He blocked in his truck, and pictures were taken. We have license plate numbers and all like that. And police did come. But my question is, do they know that they are to enforce, because to me, I thought the truck gets taken and then the perpetrators are arrested. They were caught in the act.
I'm sorry, Interim Commissioner, can you please come to the microphone?
Can I just comment real quick, Councilwoman? I was not here the day that happened,
I know you weren't.
unfortunately. But what I would say is that I wouldn't characterize the inspector as intending to block the person's vehicle. I believe the inspector was simply going down the road patrolling.
Well, that's what I was told.
Yeah, and well, the effect of him driving down that road may have been that the person who was there dumping, we believe unlawfully.
Yeah, because he came up on the side of them, and there was a picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those pictures are, I would say, quite damning. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wouldn't say that the intent was to block the vehicle so much as he was going down that road and caught this person doing something unlawful.
Yeah.
For that incident in particular, the officer was called and did respond. The city worker told the officer that he did not observe him do anything. So when you wanted to go as far as taking someone's freedom or even taking their vehicle, we can't just say his vehicle was parked near trash, especially when the city worker even said that he thinks some of that trash was already there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, they didn't tell me that.
So we get into that. So
I'm glad I asked you.
Yes, ma'am. So it has to be foolproof. We understand there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get people to call us, if we can catch them in the act with tags and videos and all that stuff.
Sure.
But we can't go by his vehicle was pushed up next to the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see him do anything. Then that
Mm-hmm.
makes us liable for all kinds of lawsuits.
Mm-hmm. That's not what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for clearing
You're
it up.
welcome.
So as you can see, we even tussle with each other around here on this issue. We want to get it solved. I tell you one thing, this mayor and this council, what we hate, and that's people dumping on Chester and taking from Chester. That's what we're constantly
Excuse me, Mayor.
fighting.
Mr. Brown, thank you. Go ahead, Mayor.
All right. In closing comments, any closing comments from council? That's it. Any closing comments from council?
That's it.
Yes, that's
Stood
it.
there for 15 minutes, being respectful to let you talk, and not walk up to the microphone while you were talking.
Any final comments from council?
I just want to thank all of the presenters today for the information that you gave. I want to acknowledge my friends from Temple Baptist Church. It's amazing, and it's a wonderful thing that we're honoring Reverend Witherspoon. We all grew up under him, so congratulations. And thank you for being here today. It's good seeing you. And Mayor, I just want to express my concern about the homelessness here in Chester. And I would like to partner with you and other members of council for us to talk about some resource information, you know, and how we're going to handle people that we see that are sleeping in the parks and also on the benches. You know, I see them when it's real cold and they're covered in blankets and cardboard and what have you. So, you know, I know we have a lot of problems of our own, but that's one of our problems as well.
Yeah, to that point, I will say I'm on the board of the Community Action Agency of Delaware County. We had a board meeting this week, and last week, we were looking at our budget. And $8 million of the Community Action Agency's budget comes from the feds. And if the feds' money doesn't reach the Delaware County Community Action Agency, there will be shelters that will close. There will be people out on the street. There is no recourse there. So we need you guys to just be aware of what's going on out here. It's dire. It's really dire. So funding is a big issue from the federal government. We hope they loosen the reins, especially for organizations like the Community Action Agency of Delaware County, which right here in the city, the Wesley House, you know, is a shelter for women and children that literally would be closed down.
So I guess Chester Housing Authority wouldn't be an option in all the empty units that they have.
HUD funding is federal as well. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned. What you got? It's not disrespectful. No, you get here at 10 o'clock. You signed up. Well, go run your business. Go run your business.